Hello, Tim O'Kelly here, and I wanted to spend just a couple minutes with you talking about, has fear ever stopped you or is stopping you from living your dream? That's what I want to take on today just for a few minutes. Before we get into that, let me tell you just a little bit about myself. I took my very first personal development course in my late 20s. I was asked by my boss, worked in a restaurant company, asked my boss to take class, and he said these words. He goes, "I think you'll really like it." I'd never been to one before of a personal development nature. And boy, what a weekend that was. Made some new decisions in my life, got urgent in my life, got clarity in my life. And one of the things I decided to do was to do this for my livelihood, do this for my dream, is to truly do whatever I could to possibly affect in a positive way other people, like that weekend did for me. More clarity, more certainty, more urgency in my life than I've ever had. And I said, if I can be a part of helping people do that, I'm in. And I've been doing it ever since in 1988. And travel all around the country, travel around all of Canada, doing classes, thousands of people on many stages. And I tell you what, this topic is heartbreaking. I don't care where I go, I always hear people say that they have a dream and they're not living it because of a fear. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship, and I really do want to give my heart, but I know if I do, I'm going to get hurt, and it's better not to get hurt for the rest of my life. And that hurts the heart, doesn't it? I have a great idea. I met someone 2 weeks ago in a class. She has an invention. She has not done anything with it in 13 years just because she's afraid. So let me take on fear, because some people go, "Oh, God, that's not me. You know, I have no fears." Fear, as far as stopping you from your dream, might not be what we think it is. Let me give you an example. Say that you have an idea. You know, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people you talk to, they go, "Man, I should write a book about my life." You know, I agree. If you've got that kind of a life that would be a book that could help people, write it. If that's what you want, write it. But then the next thought people can have is, "Yeah, but you know what? That topic's been covered so many places. You know, I just don't think, I don't think that'll sell." See, you might not think that's a fear. Fear, you might think jumping off, or, like riding bikes or jumping off cliffs and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just that in our mind, we'll find a reason that it won't work. That's fear. But we don't always call it fear. We call it, "No, well, that's just reality." No, it's not. And what I want to do in this message right here is there is no justified fear. There's not one justified fear that a human being has. Not one justified fear. Now, you could do some work if you wanted to about how to eliminate fear. That's going to take some spiritual practice. That's going to take some work to really live a life where there is no fear. That's not what I'm necessarily talking about. I'm talking about excuses that we manufacture that sound really good, and that some people, it even sounds noble. Why not to go for the dream? "Oh, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt my family." Look how, right? And no. Not one justified fear. So what I mean by that is this. You have a choice. If you have a dream, if you have something that you want to build, if you have a widget, if you have a creation, if you have just something to say in this world, you're going to go to one of two places in your head, in your heart. Two words: threat and opportunity. The only two places that our mind can go when it comes to creating some change in our life. Change meaning doing something different, right? Creating your own dream, writing a book, that's change. There's only two places the mind can go to. One place you're going to go to is, "Oh, if I do that, I'm going to possibly lose something." See, that's a threat. I might take away time from my family. Threat. Boy, I could get hurt. Threat. And I promise you, we could spend 3 days talking about all the possible things that are viewed as threat. I promise you this, whenever your mind goes to something as threatening, human nature says pull back. You don't want to get hurt. We are programmed not to get hurt in our lifetime. We're programmed to stay safe. so that we can procreate, so that we can keep the species alive. That's our DNA. That's our programming. So if you think something is a threat, you'll pull back. And it can, like I said a moment ago, it can even be noble. Or you can view fear another way. That it is one hell of an opportunity. Think about that. That whatever you're passionate about, your dream, you having a great relationship, you traveling around the world, you think about what's the opportunity there, you'll go do it. Because your mind will support you in it, your emotions will support you in it, your subconscious will support you in it, your superconscious will support you in it, everything supports you in that. Everything supports you if you view it as a threat too. You understand that? It's going to do everything you can not to be in that threat. Stop you, I'll do it later, all that. You view it as an opportunity, I promise things start lining up for you. What's the opportunity of being in a relationship? What's the opportunity of opening my own company? You sit down and you start writing all of the opportunity. I promise you something's going to happen. The next state is you're going to get excited. And I say this, when you're excited and you're passionate about what you want, your creativity opens up. And when your creativity opens up, you'll see solutions that you've never seen before. There's no solutions when you view something as a threat. There's not one solution that comes to you. When you view something as a threat, your mind doesn't work that way. When you view something as an opportunity, you get excited, your creativity opens up, you'll start seeing solutions that you've never seen before. When you see solutions, you will take action because there's a lot of different ways to do it. Because there's a lot of different ways to live your dream. There's a lot of different ways to express your passion. There's a lot of ways to do it, and you'll see them. And when you can see them, it's much easier. So the message here is this. You're going to use your mind to view it one of two ways. One of them is very positive. One of them is very negative. One of them is a threat, and one of them is an opportunity. So I challenge you. If you have a dream, I want you to do an exercise really quickly too. As soon as you can, I got it. I want you to start writing. What's the opportunity of you living your dream? What's the opportunity of you doing what you really want to do? What's the opportunity of you working for yourself? What's the opportunity of you opening your own company and you making your own schedule and you being able to travel and do the things that you want to do and enjoy the things that you want to do? You talk about the opportunity on that, watch what happens. You start getting really, really excited. Or you can view it as a threat. I'm asking you not to. And I don't very often tell people what to do, but I got to say this. I got to end it with this. If you have a dream, if you have something that you think would work, if you have something that would serve humanity, get off your ass and go live it. Why else are you here? To conform? To do what everybody else is doing? Because I tell you what, a majority of the people are not living their dream. You have a message. You have a purpose for being here. And your purpose is not to do what everybody else does to stay safe. That's not it. Your purpose is to fly. Your purpose is to live your dream because you got a dream. So find it and then live it. And yes, are there going to be obstacles? Oh, yes, there's going to be. But I tell you what, they're all a process of growth. I mean, you know, when I started my very first company, man, it's embarrassing to think about what we used to use when we started making videos. But you know what? The thing I'm proud of is we did it. I could have sat back and went, oh no, we've got to have this video, we got to have this camera, right? I'll tell you something I've never shared before that's kind of embarrassing. When you think about making videos, have you ever thought about all the editing that's got to go on? I mean, you watch movies and you hear these stories. It takes 2 days to get this one shot. Man, if you think that way making videos like we do, you'll never make videos. So here's one thing, we couldn't afford to edit our videos. We couldn't afford to hire somebody. We didn't know how to do it. So guess what we did? We decided not to edit it. We decided to do one take and do that one. And guess what? We're still doing it that way. And guess what? I'll still do it that way forever. I've got one shot at delivering what I want to say, and it's this shot right here. And that's what you're getting. There's no editing in this at all. So we save money, right? So my point is, if you've got a dream, start. Take action, get a video camera and start recording if that's what you want to do. If it's speaking, start speaking in your living room. If it's speaking, get some stuffed animals and speak to them. I'm not joking. And film it and watch yourself and get better at it. Talk to your family. Then get 2 or 3 friends. I started my very first seminar company with 2 people. And I worked for a company where I would do classes for 100 people, 200 people, and now I'm doing my own. Do you think that was a blow to my ego? Yes, it was. It was very uncomfortable, and I did it. I did a class for 2 people. My next class, I had 8 people. So excited. I've got a class coming up in a couple of weeks, 100 people. But I started with 2. Don't let your fear stop you. There's no justified fear, it's your own mind. Learn how to work with your mind and see the opportunity and stay focused on that. If there's any way that you can share with us through your comments and stuff when you start living a dream or you start getting better at your dream, I'd love to hear about it, because to me, there's nothing more exciting than that, is a person living a dream. Thank you.